Limits are physical, limitations are psychological. You will never reach any of your physical limits because of psychological limitations. And the greatest limitations we all place on ourselves are self-imposed. We create the limitations. It's not that we can't high jump this high or anything, it's because we don't feel or believe that we have potential. And the problem is, don't ever say to your children, they're just going through a phase, they'll outgrow it. Did you know that they carry into adulthood the same kinds of habits and beliefs that they had when they were children? Rarely do people outgrow the habits that they have. They don't break the habit, they replace it. And you do it over time by layering new information over the old. So you don't really outgrow the limitations you set new ones within which you must live. And a lot of that has to do with income too. The income that you make is limited by your belief that you deserve to earn many times. And it's frightening to earn more than you believe you're worth. One of the most difficult things in the world is not to be afraid of success, because success brings with it setting an example, having people ridicule you, people think you're showing off, and they think you're trying to get away from your peer group. One of the most difficult things in a family, my family's been poor their whole lives. Never made more than $200 a month, my father. Now, today, my sister is still stuck back where we were, and my brother, not much more. When I see my family at a reunion, I have to park 4 blocks away so they won't see my car. I have to meet them in the park and barbecue so they won't see where I live. They don't want to come where I live because I'm a big politician. He thinks he's so smart, so good. And the problem is I feel guilty and not worth it because I feel like I'm playing over my head. But did you know? No one can do anything that they're not capable of. And there's no such thing as playing over your head, only up to your potential. And so you and I really have to understand that the pressure is on us when we believe in ourselves, because other people will try to tell us that that's not right, to take the biggest piece of cake. It's always better to be humble, which can become humiliation if you begin to knock yourself. Being humble is the greatest thing in the world. Feeling you're as good as the best and no better than the rest. Being humble is giving more than you expect to receive. Always being available, engaging people. If you have something going for you, why wouldn't you share it? Why would you be aloof? Conceit is God's gift to shallow people. You show me a conceited person, I'll show you a tiny person trying to shout. I'll show you somebody in a stretch limousine. The stretch of the limousine is inversely proportional to the self-esteem of the person riding in. The longer the limo you need, the longer the limo you need. Show people how great you are. Only people with high self-worth can afford to be modest, and they usually are. It's not what happens, it's how you take it. So, my plea to you is that we are today the conditioning that we've had until today. Past conditioning equals present behavior. You will not make a decision based upon what's happening today. You will make decisions based on what happened before. And much of what happened before didn't happen to you. It happened to your parents. It happened to your grandparents. It happened to somebody else. But they told you the way it is because of what happened to them. And we tend to replay, and the media who reads the words, none of them have ever been through anything that they're talking about, but they read what they're fed. And then the news is made by spinning it because it makes news for the day. Here's the interesting thing. When we come to a program like this, what does it do for us? It creates awareness. And that's what we want. We want to knock on the side of the head and to create an awareness that we're going to change. The change won't take place today because this is present input, and that's the numerator. The present input is several hours. But if you've been 40 years of age, you have 250,000 hours of past conditioning. Could Tony Robbins or Denis Waitley presume that I could come in and do this tremendous program and give you some books or give you you something that day that would change your life? Of course not. But what I could do is intersect with you on that day that you decide that you were going to change. And the president put 4 or 5 hours over the 250,000 hours would equal your future behavior and performance. So I don't presume to do anything, but I'd like to rearrange your past conditioning. I'd like to help you view what has happened to you up until this day in a different way. What's holding you back? Externals? There are a few. I'm not going to be president of the United States, and I'm also not going to be in the Olympic Games in Beijing. I'm not going to do that. I'm not prepared. I didn't do the things that would prepare me for that, and age, a certain limitation there. Certainly running 100 meter, I need a motorcycle. Internals within your control, mostly yes. Externals, some. Internals, many. A thermometer is external, and I'm tired of being a media thermometer. I'm tired of laying on the side of a barn and having the environment and the marketplace and society tell me whether I should be up or down as far as my opinion. I'm tired of statically reflecting the outside world. I want to be a thermostat. I like thermostats. What you get is what you set. A thermostat sets the temperature. Let's see if I can move it. There we go. A thermometer reacts to outside forces, and the performance is based on externals. A thermostat reacts to inner forces, and performance is based on internals. So you and I have this incredible thermostatic brain, which we call behavior modification at the self-image level. And it's as if there were a set point. In weight control, you talk about the set point in the hypothalamus. In the hypothalamus area of the brain, there's a set point called the satiety center. And over a period of years, it maladjusts to the set point that you give it. And it knows automatically when you're starving it or feeding it. When you feed it too much, it lowers the metabolic rate of burning calories. When you indulge it, it burns more metabolic to try to keep you at the same weight, performance range comfort zone that you set up. And that's what happens in weight control, is it becomes automatic after a while. Well, the self-image is the same way. The self-image is not physiological. The self-image is mental. It's the imagined self that we've come to believe that we are. It determines our performance range in life. It determines how high you go, how much you study, how much you believe in yourself, how active you are. It's a self-image, and you perform just about. Now, if you perform better than your self-image, boy, it just makes you feel so guilty and so frustrated because you're doing better than you think you can. And realize things are going too well, so you calm down a little bit. I've done that 1,000 times, called permanent detention. When I perform too well, it makes me nervous. When I perform poorly, that's more like me. And at least I come about average to where I belong.